Well, it's interesting. I don't know why I thought about this, but BuzzFeed just announced that they were killing their news division and how difficult that is. And if you remember back in 13 and 14 and 15, let's say not 15, 14, Facebook's rise and Twitter's rise and BuzzFeed's rise were all together. Twitter and Facebook, I believe, needed the BuzzFeeds of the world to survive because they needed that type of content. And it is clear today that that is not a thing anymore. And that's why you're seeing all these social networks. They're getting rid of all these publisher deals because they don't need them anymore. And TikTok has shown us very, very well that regular creators who are getting really, really good at using the stuff which is amazing what Adobe is doing and bringing this power and accessibility to just regular people to create this kind of stuff is pretty. I mean, it can be first rate type work that you'd see from any content creator, professional creator out there. So I think that we're seeing that democratization. I think you're still going to see there's still the big flashy multi-million-dollar movies that are out there, and then you've got all this stuff in the middle that is just out there. And it's going to be interesting to see when you put this into everyone. Like we've seen it happen. Okay, you put a smartphone into everyone's hands. What happens? Everyone becomes a creator, and that's what's happened. When you take the next step and say, we're going to put these really professional tools in your hand that you can create an amazing 20-second video or a minute video without really doing much at all, without knowing what it takes to create a video.
Right.
What's going to happen? I don't know.
Yeah, it's I think the immediate the growth mindset. This is a moment when I think we have to think about growth versus fixed mindsets. And the growth mindset in this moment would say, set all threats and anxiety aside. How can this help me today? If it can help you today, do something that you were annoyed by, didn't like to do, or you found tedious, or that was saves you time, or lets you do more of something else. It is now incumbent upon you and me and all of us to embrace these tools for that reason. The people who are the most intimidated by these things are actually the people who should be embracing them first.
Yeah.
That's a one-to-one correlation. If this scares you, it's for you.
Yes.
Go use it.
Great point.
Wow.
So try it and begin to experiment with it, and then you'll have less anxiety about being left behind because you'll find the limitations. You'll be able to talk to your clients about it. You'll be able to contrast yourself with the even lower cost providers who are going to be coming around. But that, but in the end, yeah, I mean, this is an insane productivity tool that it's going to have massive availability. There's already 1 billion people who can use AI. Today, there are already 1 billion people who can use AI tools. Yeah, probably in the long run a deflationary force, but let's all try to enjoy the moment in our ability to kind of leverage our time and see what it can do and not try to ignore it because that's not productive.
I think your great point about sort of rethinking your value proposition as a person or a company is really important. I talked to a writer the other day, and she said, I create articles and blog posts for a living, and now somebody else can create these in 2 seconds and they don't necessarily need me. And I'm like, well, what does that tell you? I was like, maybe you should rethink the value you bring to the table. I always said, like, I came from the custom publishing industry, I said we always focus on giving away the strategy so we can get the execution. The execution is a dime a dozen in a lot of cases from today's perspective, but the strategy is critical. It's like you want to be the one not to say I can create the 10 articles for you. You should be the one that says I'm going to tell you when not to create the 10 articles. I'm going to create a better strategy, or I'm going to watch the strategy so that we know when we need to pivot, evolve, and what we need to do. So that's where I think the opportunity is to use these kind of tools as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you drop that on the desk of a brand, they're not going to get much value from it. I mean, let's say there's 5,000 law firms out there that should have better video. Hey, law firm, look at this tool. Watch this video. See what you can do. They don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
They don't know the plan. They don't know what a good flow would be. Yeah, they have a faster way now and a cheap or free way to like add B-roll, sound effects, transitions. But there's still, if I were buying video services, that tool really doesn't help me. I'd like to get new. I'm in the market right now, and I have a friend. I'm going to be talking about this soon. So I hope that my service providers are using tools to be efficient, but this doesn't mean I don't need a service provider. Even though I am a creative,
Yeah.
I'm a digital strategist, but I don't think I'm going to try to. I probably could, but I still want someone to hold my hand. I like service. I value relationships. I want to talk to a strategist. So, yeah, the cost for production keeps falling. It's dropping precipitously, close to zero for certain things. It's amazing.
Yep.
But the value for, this is Robert Rose again, right? Strategy and measurement. The value of those things is still high. It can help a strategist, but me personally, I still need help, and I'd like to talk to someone who can help me when I need help for things like this.
Yeah, and again, I told the writer too. I'm like, the AI is not the storyteller. You're the storyteller. And you come up with the themes and the vision and why it makes sense and the differentiation and all those things. Can AI help you get there? Yes, we talked about this in the beginning. Yes, absolutely. Use that as a tool, but it's not going to replace. It shouldn't replace what you bring to the table as a human being or a storyteller or a content creator. Hopefully, if it does, then do something else.